live.
And we are live. So it says.
After some technical difficulties.
Yes, we almost make it on again. Seems like relying on our older equipment is causing us a little bit of a potential hazard. Okay, so we'll wait for a few people to show up here and welcome everybody that is potentially already watching. And
I'm just waiting to see if we're live. Okay.
And I just got a notification saying that I'm here.
All right.
And we're also live there. Okay, so it looks like we're live both on YouTube and Rumble. Looks like it was successful as far as getting on there, and so far so good.
So far so good.
A busier day. We have what's going on. Hopefully people can hear us. Yeah, it looks like we should have volume. But anyway, it's been there we go. We do have volume. Good. It's been a little busier day. We had some sales today. We have some sales coming up. So at some point.
Yeah, I'll excuse myself a couple times during this live.
At some point, Cindy's gonna leave me stranded here. You guys be stuck with just me babbling away. But
yeah, you're better at that.
So she says. Yeah. So I got a little volume sticking on. There we go. You can still hear the phone. Trying a different tea today. Hopefully you guys have a nice warm beverage as well.
Yeah, we have, I think it's called Honey Bush Mandarin Orange or something like that. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's tasty.
Not homegrown, but
it's breakfast. Decided to do a 24-hour fast today, so
you decided to.
Wait, you didn't?
No.
You were eating?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see.
Not a whole meal, but I did have something.
You were nice enough not to do it in front of me.
Yeah.
That's good.
I never agreed to fast.
Well, anyway, so not a whole lot of excitement this week. What can we talk about that isn't too big of a deal until we get a few more people on here? Just in case, I do want to say hello to the kids, the 4 of them. They're hanging out with Grandma while we do this live. And I always like to hear that we acknowledge them. So anyway, so what was going on in your world this week, guys? If anybody's on there that wants to join us. Noble, how are you?
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for coming on. And really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So not too much of an exciting week. We had a heck of a lot of rain, but I think that was the case for a large area of Canada and the U.S. this past week.
And we got lucky because we were afraid we'd flood, and we didn't.
I was starting to. I won't lie. I was starting to sweat a bit. I don't know if I see better with these things or not, so I'm gonna take them off. So.
Yeah, he didn't sleep much that night.
No, I slept with one eye open. I was waiting for the basement alarm. We have a drain that's beside the property, but just does not seem to keep up anymore. The first few years it was fantastic, but with the amount of precipitation we seem to get when it comes now, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't think the rivers are taking it away fast enough. You look around at the water that lays in the parks and the floodlands, and it really does flood. It seems very easily now.
Yeah, every time we have a good rain, they close the parks and the soccer fields and all that.
Yeah. So because of that, I have to plan really well this year when I do the tractors for the chickens when we get those, hopefully in 9 days, get those meat chickens.
That is exciting. And your turkeys.
Yeah. And the turkeys. I'm more excited about that, but I do look forward to getting the meat chickens this year. But anyway, we still have some cold temperatures, so Musgrave Family Farm.
Good afternoon.
How are you guys? Thank you for coming on. If anybody does want to join, I'm going to put the link up here just in case. Anybody's welcome. There we go. I'm going to put that so hopefully it stays where people can see it. Anyway, yeah, I totally lost my thought. It's been just a frazzled day.
Yeah.
But everything's pretty wet out there. I got to get some. I think I'm going to bring in a lot of shavings and try to build up the coop runs and stuff a little bit because it seems like it's getting really muddy.
Yeah, some of them are muddy, especially when you first step into it. It's just awful.
I say it's mud. I have a feeling it's not. It's a bit of a
We'll
mix.
call it mud.
We'll call it mud. The smelly mud.
Homestead mud run.
Yeah, I don't want to be tripping and falling. I've done that a few times.
Yeah.
But anyway, what do we have to talk about this week?
Well, I will briefly mention my plants before I have to run.
Oh, yeah, Cindy's going to be in and out of the live today because we have a couple of we have a big egg sale to do in the next little bit, and the
old chicks.
The old chicks. Somebody's picking up some Polish and silky chicks. So
yeah, so my plants are struggling still. I killed off a bunch by being too eager and putting them outside to harden too soon. And then I put them in the greenhouse where it was warmer and more protected, but I still lost about half of those. But it's okay because I had multiples planted, so I had a lot that I had to separate into new pots anyway, so I'm good that way. But I'm very impatient. And they're small.
Yes.
They're growing slowly, which I think will work out because we are not getting any warm weather, so I think they have a long time before I can put them in the garden. But it's a little disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be okay though.
Yeah, we just haven't had the weather this year that we had last year, so it's this is probably more realistic to what we should be expecting. It's just we got spoiled for a couple of years, and so I'm
wild huckleberry.
Robbie, how are you doing? And Sonia. Possibly, maybe. Welcome, and there is a link there if anybody wants to join. I was just reading back. Noble was saying that they stopped cleaning the creeks and rivers of the mulch going into them. I kind of wonder if that's what's going on here. The Aquatic Newsroom, welcome.
Hello. Oh, excuse me.
There's one of your pickups. So yeah, Cindy's bailing on me for a minute. I don't know if this is the people coming for the chicks or if it's the people coming for the eggs, because we have a sale for both that are going through right around the same time that we have this live. But you know, you do the sale when you can, and yeah, hopefully they're both over with fairly quickly. But anyway, now you're stuck with me, so here we go. Yeah, so it's nice to So we got Musgrave. Oh, you guys can all see the chat. I was going to start clicking on these so you can see them, but with this overlay, you guys have that ability, which is great. I was going to say the Aquatic News Network. So how you liking the YouTube? I saw you you got fired up and running on all cylinders over there. I know you had a couple channels there on Rumble. I did notice that Rumble they kind of changed things a little bit. It seems like you have to pay for a membership and things now to make any money on there. Even though I'm still putting videos out on YouTube and Rumble, and obviously we're doing the live on YouTube as well as Rumble at the same time, but definitely not making any money over there anymore. Not that we make a pile of money on YouTube, that's for sure, but maybe someday, possibly. Anyway, so what about earlier was we have yeah, it must have been a huge system. We had the same thing happen here. We got just pummeled with rain to the point where I had a really rough night's sleep. I didn't think we were going to get away without flooding again. It just seems to be the thing now. I don't know what's happened, but because we do have drainage all around us, but it doesn't seem to be able to keep up anymore. So I don't know, but then I've never seen it quite this bad. Now when it floods, it seems like you can actually see like streams running down the sides of the road, and but anyway, I think we're all experiencing the same sort of weirdness. Thank goodness you're back. They were starting to bail because it was just me.
Oh. No, I made a sale. Those people were so nice. It's always nice when people say, your property is our dream. I'm like, oh. That's so sweet, but we'd like more.
Yeah, there's never
always
enough
somebody's
property, but at
dream,
the same
right?
time, it's funny because if we just took them out in the muck for a while and had them do some chores, they'd probably maybe not feel the same way about it. But
Well, yes.
when you're coming from the city, it doesn't take a lot to be impressed, I guess. But
It's always nice to hear.
we did have a sale this morning of quail, and the people that actually come to buy that were people that live in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 10 inches, 9.65 inches so far this week. Yeah, I that's a lot of water. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's got no place to go. That's
The
the thing,
geese and
right?
the ducks will love it, but
Yeah.
everyone
Our
else
front
will be
yard is
miserable.
still a swamp hole, and which is fine because the geese, you know what, it's the perfect environment for them. They can enjoy it. But top of the hill, yeah,
That's nice
yeah.
not to have to
I
worry
always
about
thought
the.
if I ever built a house, I would be up on a hill. I I would probably go up on a hill with a walkout basement or something like that. But I would definitely try to stay above grade, like above in an island type thing.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But hi,
Hi,
John.
John. How are you doing? Probably drenched like everybody else. It's good to see you. Um, so I did learn a lesson this week, though. Kind of talk about something a little different. So we have the pheasants out there, and I wasn't watching them close enough, and I didn't realize they were starting to fight. And I've got, let's just say I've got peepers on the two remaining males. Unfortunately, one of them did not live. It was killed by one of the other ones. Did not expect that, but I they've been together since they were chicks. But apparently now that it's breeding season, now that she's laying eggs, and there's some competition there, I guess, and one wiped out one of the other two. So I threw the first time I ever used them. I ordered some in. And they kind of sat there, and I should have been on top of it before. I just never did. Now I know how to put these pinless peepers on.
And they were simple in the end.
Extremely simple. I was kind of dragging my heels because I didn't want to do it. And then after losing one of the males, I thought, well, I can't just drag my heels any longer. Kind of dropped the ball there, really, but I guess it was a lesson learned. Now I know for next time that I need to get those blinders on way sooner because they'll still chase each other, but since they can't see directly in front of each other, they run up to each other, and it's not as bad because they don't have that direct vision. But it's amazing what they can still do when there's something in front of their eyeballs, because I still see them flying and perching, and kind of surprised me. But anyway,
you can always tell who's the bully. It's the big one with the brighter colors.
Yeah, there's one he's definitely the dominant out there, and he's expressing that through his posture.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah. So anybody, if you're getting into pheasants at all, just learn from my mistake. You definitely either want to have them separated or get those blinders on earlier. I should have did it. I guess when I look back, researched it a bit when I went to put them on. I guess I should have been on top of that when they were about 8 weeks old. Kind of get them used to it early on, but they really they go about everything pretty much as normal.
Mm-hmm. Well, they were getting along so nicely until
Duncan Family Farm. Thank you for joining us.
Hey guys.
I'll just point out again, I do have the link here. I will copy and paste again just in case anybody is interested in joining. I've never actually tried to have a guest on, so if somebody does try to join and for some reason I'm not getting you on here, just let me know, because I'm not even sure where to look. Wow, 15 inches. Yeah, that's horrible. I wonder if that's would that be in the area that Donald and Lisa are in? Because I don't know which part of Kentucky they're in, but I think they're more the southern part, if I remember correctly. But
yeah, you always say that our place is flooding, but it's everywhere. It's not just.
I get so frustrated, I actually emailed the county, to which I got a response, which was nice of them.
Yeah.
Wanting to know my, property tax number, things like that, name, number, property tax, and included a form that I would fill out for drain maintenance, which I guess that is the way they would narrow it all down. But I thought, yeah. But then when I went for a drive and saw the surrounding areas, I guess I realized it wasn't just me, or just us, I should say. It just kind of feels like Groundhog Day every time it rains now. So
all the surrounding towns are flooded.
Yeah, everything's flooding. But
well, like the low-lying areas, I should say.
Yeah, it's funny because when you're coming down the road, we're actually kind of on a hill.
Yeah.
But we're on the hill, but we're kind of in a lull on the hill, so we still get swamped out. But when it does get that bad, because we're on the hill, the water at least runs through the property. It just covers a large area of the property. So, like we were discussing earlier, when we get these birds this year, these meat birds and stuff, when I go to put them outside, I have to think about where to put up the temporary fencing. If we get a bad enough storm, I don't really want to have to worry about chickens drowning each other, because I've had that before where we had a flash storm and the yard flooded, and because they would try to stand on each other, we had one drown, which is
it wouldn't have on its own, but when it jumped on it and
held it down, I guess, or maybe multiple ones did. They use each other for an island, but I've never seen quite as bad as we had that one time. But it just
two times.
2 times now. It seems like it's almost like a PTSD now. When it starts to rain, I start to panic.
So.
It's just
you do get all.
I do. It's the one thing that really stresses me out now. I get, because even as far as the sump pump and stuff, because it gets so bad twice now in the past couple of years, where I've had to have 3 pumps all going at the same time in the pit to try to keep up to the flow that's going in. And
yeah, we were lucky though. We didn't lose power or anything.
No, but I did go out yesterday and buy a new generator. I have one, so I kind of feel silly buying another one, but I did buy one because I think I mentioned to you guys before that our local farm store, PB Mart in Canada, has gone out of business. And they used to be what was the Tractor Supply or the TSC store here in Canada. And they've closed up shop, where they've been in the process. A lot of the stores are gone. And there's still the odd one in the area that's still open, and they must just be moving inventory to those locations. So I went in yesterday and I saw one of the inverter generators that was on for 50% off. So I took the plunge, and as much as I did not want to spend the money, I decided it'd be a good idea, because I've set our furnace up that I can run it off a generator if power goes out, which for us is a big deal, because obviously, as you guys know, here where we live, it can get quite cold in the winter time, so we don't want to have pipes freeze and things like that. But at least this way, if I run the inverter, the inverter generator, that is, I don't have to worry about frying my furnace board, which is the potential if I use my older generator, because it doesn't have the clean power. So I guess I have to look at it as a preparing situation, just in case.
Yeah, it was an investment.
Yeah, I don't know if it was an investment, but I guess it didn't feel like.
Well,
I know.
It's an investment to not wreck things that would cost money. In the end.
I guess that's the thing. If I need it, it'll be an investment. If I'm not burning out equipment or things around the house by using the old one, so maybe I'll just put the old one up for sale and kind of recoup some of that cost. But then that'd be about the time one won't start. So we'll see.
I think they're good to have.
Yeah, that was my gift to myself yesterday for being, I don't know.
For being you.
For being me, whatever. So yeah, in 9 days we get those birds, and then we'll get those the temporary fencing. Actually, for now, I think I'm gonna do a video next week, because I need to build a brooder, and I have brooders. I just don't have brooders
for like
100, for that many birds, because we have a lot hatching at the same time as these other ones come. Our geese that are in the incubator hopefully hatch. They're due to hatch sometime next week. And the geese that are nesting out front, I don't know. I'm hoping it works out because there's still just one nest. And the one goose, she's planted herself there. But this morning I'm looking for the second female. I'm thinking, where are you at? Are you finally laying your own nest? But nope, she was in there squished up with the other one in the nest. Must have been laying her egg, and then, had a nap or something, and 45 minutes later she was back out with the rest. So I guess they're going to have, hopefully, we don't have hen leaving the nest too soon with eggs that might potentially still hatch. That's my only concern, I guess, with the one.
Now, if that happens,
doing that,
would it be possible to stick them in the incubator?
I guess we'll figure out. I don't know. I really don't know. So that's something to look at this next month. I guess we should hopefully have a bunch of goslings, assuming everything goes okay. I'm really hoping. And
yes, we have all kinds of birds on the go.
Yeah.
Whale hatched, Polish hatched, and silky.
Yeah, we have breasts in the incubator, ducks, which are mostly pecan. We have Easter eggers in the incubator, pheasants. A lot of stuff on the go as far as that goes. So.
Yeah, and they're all hatching at different times, even in one incubator. So it's like complicated.
Yeah, a lot going on, but we'll see. And when the birds show up next week, week after this week coming, I'll be working afternoons, so a little bit of to get up early and get prepared, pick them up, and
so you
be all set.
You have to make a bunch of birders.
Camera went out.
So if you can still hear us, we froze.
Yeah, our camera's actually stopped working. Not sure what it's doing.
I can still hear us. Okay, guys, bear with us.
I'm not sure what's happened, but the camera actually lost connection for some reason here. Hopefully we're back. Is there sound now? I'm trying to switch to a different microphone. Oh boy. Huh. Hopefully we're back. Is there sound now? I'm trying to switch to a different. How's that? Are we back now? think I hear myself on my phone. And see, okay. Whew. Sometimes I find doing these are starting to get a little stressful with, I don't know if it's going to be a, thank you guys. I don't know if it's going to malfunction anymore. I switched to the desktop because I was having too many issues with the laptop processor basically keeping up, I think it was. And now it seems like we've had a couple successful attempts over here, but thank you. Whew. So many of these seem to fail on us. So, but yeah, well, Cindy's out doing that egg sale. I don't know if you heard that part. Somebody's picking up about 10 flats and I think 6 dozen quail eggs. Okay, that makes sense. That may be why I'm keep an eye on the phone just in case. I'm not sure. Sometimes I think this restream works pretty good, but then I start to wonder sometimes. And now I think I've started talking about that before with Rumble. Now they've got some different thing now where they expect if you're going to make money, it sounds like you have to basically pay the membership and you have to stream to join. Oh, did I just freeze again?
Something went wrong, and my mom says we can't hear you, and then she said the voice is back, so I don't know.
There's some kind of delay going on. I'm not sure what it is. I was going to quickly take a peek here, make sure there's no updates going on. I checked earlier, but unless something's happened. No, nothing's updating.
Well, anyway, if you can hear me, I'll just keep talking. It's always nice when people bring back empty flats and cartons. So I have a huge box full of flats and cartons.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening here again, guys.
Technology hates us.
Yeah, not super impressed. I know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the mic's on. Okay.
We're back. Maybe.
Hopefully. Can you guys hear us? Hopefully you can see and hear us now. I had to quickly try switching USB ports. And I do apologize again. Let's see. You guys hear us? Okay. Sounds like we're back.
Okay.
Wow. Anyway, so yeah, I do apologize. I'm not sure. I switched ports, maybe because I'm using a USB camera and microphone. Okay.
Good, thanks.
Wow. All right. That's a little stressful.
All right. So it looks like we've gone through our list, and I'm done exiting from the chat.
No, you're not just stuck with me now.
Yeah, you're stuck with me too.
Yeah. So anything going on this week? I can't think of anything new and exciting.
No, there's a ton of stuff to do.
Yeah, I've been really dragging my heels. I need to really build some new tractors this year. Some of the old ones are getting so beat up, and I made the mistake. Well, I make a lot of mistakes, but I live and learn, I guess. But I made a large tractor about 3 or 4 years ago, and because it was so big, I wanted to go lightweight. And I had watched some videos where some people were doing it, and I used with like PVC plastic pipe, and unfortunately, it did not fare well in our Canadian winters. So
it worked great at first.
It got us probably a good year, maybe 2 years, and then now it just seems like it's constantly so fragile that if I have to move it too much, it gets broken up. So
Yeah, it's the net that's keeping it together right now.
yeah, the chicken wire is what's kept its form. So I'm either going to try to somehow reinforce this one for another year just to get the use out of it again, or probably make something out of wood. It'd be a little heavier, but at least it structurally might be better, last a little bit longer, hopefully.
Yeah, because we need it.
Yeah.
We need a whole bunch of tractors and brooders.
Yeah, as long as it warms up in time. So
Yeah.
I was thinking, those birds come next week at 8-9 weeks from now. It's still only end of May. Or
Yeah, I guess.
it can still get pretty chilly here. But that's when Cindy should be out doing her garden at the end of May.
Yeah. Here's hoping that it gets warm.
As opposed to last year where we were out there in April.
Yeah. But that's okay because I wouldn't be ready this time.
Mm.
So it works out.
Yeah, we haven't had much luck getting the plants outside to harden them up.
No, or even getting them to grow very big very quick. So.
Yeah, had a lot of sun. So what do we got? Anybody got anything going on this year? This week? Sorry. Not this year.
And we need to get some dirt, which you did look into.
Yeah. I was going to get that 3-way, I think they call it around here a 3-way soil. So it's dirt, manure, compost, or something like that. Yeah, exactly. Noble. That PVC, it sounded good, and it's nice and light, but it just doesn't take the beating. But that 3-way, I was going to get that, but I think I'm going to go with the cheaper stuff. I'm going to get the sifted topsoil because it's not like we don't have enough manure around here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the soil we have is potent. It's good.
Yeah.
But we just need something to
loosen it. Yeah, it's like John. It's just, although I think John's might even be, when I watch his videos, I think his might even be a harder clay than ours. We've got a bit of a layer. It's probably about, I don't know, 8-10 inches of dirt that was brought in to level up the yard at one point. And you get past that, and then you get into that beigey kind of clay. But we do have a little bit of on top to kind of work with.
Yeah, we just need to loosen it so that the vegetables can grow, especially the root ones.
Yeah, get some benefit there. What else? What we got going on? We tried to get we were going to go to the animal auction, but it was too late by the time we realized it yesterday. So we didn't do that.
Maybe next week.
Not that we need to go.
Okay. No, but you were curious about selling too.
I'm curious how it works. I don't know, like, it's probably different everywhere, but I'm curious to see how it works here. If you want to sell something, what kind of commission they take, or how it actually works. It would be handy instead of maybe go a little faster to get rid of chicks. Because ideally, when we hatch like this, we don't want to have the birds too long because then it starts to cost you money.
Mm-hmm. And if you could sell that way, you could do large quantities on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? No, it's the same here. I forget which night, but there's one night coming that I think we're still supposed to get -12, -13 Celsius, which Cindy doesn't have her chart here, but
I do actually.
I'm not sure what it works out to in Fahrenheit, but it's still going to get quite chilly this week.
That's 8.6.
8.6 Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cold. But yeah, so it'd be nice. I think when I look at the 14-day forecast, I see a little bit of upside coming, but it's still, yeah.
It's a trick.
Still not much. It's hard on the system, and when you go from positive, decent summer days. I mean,
yeah, we've had t-shirt weather
a couple times. Not like Robbie, but
no.
Actually, I think Noel's in that same climate.
But for us, it's been nice here and there, and it's just a tease.
Yeah. Right now it's super windy too, but you'd think it'd be drying up faster, but it's not. But we didn't have a whole lot to chat about this week, unfortunately.
No, but we have a lot to do, so hopefully by next week we'll have a lot to say we did.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy week and a half coming up. So still going through. Good. Paranoid now that this thing's gonna conk out.
Good, yeah.
All started when I kicked the wires one time.
Mm. Well, everyone's been warned that we could just go away at any second.
Yeah, they're used to it now.
And yet they bear with us, so thank you. So I had to run, but I was saying that you guys are very patient to be doing those lives in the up and down and dealing with those trolls.
There was a vertical or whatever.
Yeah. Because I've seen some of them reading their comments, and
it's a lot cooler there. Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you think is it worth doing the vertical lives? So I've thought about even on Restream here. I see it's an option, but it's just I watched some of those, undesirables come across the the chat, and I think, I don't know.
But your moderators are right on top of them.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's true.
But you always see people asking for money, and it's just.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. You doing your live today, Robbie? I should post that. Where am I?
Saved?
I have it here somewhere. Let me bring it up. The Sunday Homestead channel lineup. Here we go.
So that's the regular lineup, dependent on whether everyone's doing it tonight.
Yeah, I haven't seen Money put on today. I haven't checked to see if they're advertising that they're going to be on, but maybe the next one's up at 5 p.m. Central, I believe. You are good. Yeah, 6 p.m. Central. I have it as 7 p.m. Eastern, I believe. It was just easier for me to think about in my time zone.
I have trouble converting times for some reason.
28 eggs in the incubator. Yeah, good luck, John. I hope it works out for you. What's your rooster? So I knew you had that one breed of really good layer. I can't remember what you had for roosters there. And we've had pretty good luck hatching this year.
We have.
Fortunately, even some of I've got a couple incubators I don't use as much because I'm always kind of like, they're just cheapies. But even they've been.
We got, they just hatched 7 out of, I think, 10 or 11, which is pretty good for that particular one.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, just a real cheap incubator. Just a couple spares that we bought to put the smaller hatches in. And then the larger incubators, I think what I'm going to do is, since I put different eggs in that are hatching at different times, so I've saved one of the larger styrofoam incubators that I'm going to use at some point just for the hatch. I'm going to take them out of the other incubators and put them in for the hatch, so they don't have to worry about having the different ones in all at the same time. Yeah, I might try it one of these times, Robbie. I don't know. I don't know if I have the patience for it, but I think the only thing about if you do it vertically on Restream, it looks like it keeps the same window. It just makes it smaller. So I don't know how that would work on a phone because it wouldn't be as it wouldn't be the same as using your phone to do a vertical, I don't think.
So would the chat still be going along the side?
The chat would be on the bottom instead, but it might be worth giving it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Yeah. And those fronts come through.
I want warm weather.
Yeah.
Now, like yesterday.
Been watching some people going on, Mexican vacations and things like that, things that we don't do. Kind of jealous of the temperatures they're hanging out in, but
Yeah, but they'll have to come home, and then it'll hit them, and we'll be acclimated.
yeah. Although that maybe this year we will actually get a chance to
Acclimate.
acclimate. Wow, the word wasn't coming. Because typically the last little while it seems like we go from cold to very hot, and it just feels like your body doesn't get a chance to adjust. Where this year it's more of a very, very gradual climb.
Or rather, back and forth. It's like a swing.
Yeah, you could say it like that too. Yeah. But
so we don't have snow on the ground, so I'm thankful for that. But I just want to not have to wear layers anymore. Just t-shirt, shoes, and out.
Oh, is that right, Robbie? I didn't realize that. I'll have to check that out. Didn't clue in that that's how they were doing it. Because I guess because by the time they're on, I'm usually on my phone. Even by the time you're on, because we're usually on the road.
Yeah.
Mix of golden lace, Wyandotte, and whatever my old rooster was. I'm not sure. You know what? I think sometimes those barnyard mixes make the best chickens anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Seem to be hard here.
Pretty too.
Yeah. Feels like 91 and humid.
Wow.
I was just thankful. When I looked at the upcoming forecast, last time I looked last week, we were still calling for snow. And when I looked this morning, I didn't see it anymore. I see a lot of rain coming still, but I didn't see the snow. So I was just very thankful because, not that I really want any more rain either at this point.
No. I'm just excited to get the plants out of the house, into the greenhouse, and not have to move them back and forth.
Yeah, agreed.
They need sunshine. I need space.
Yeah, it's getting to be a bit of a burden having them in the house, and they're not growing, like Cindy said, they're not growing very well.
I'm just keeping them alive until I can get them outside, basically. Like they're growing so slowly that I'm just maintaining their life.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not that good at this.
It just seems like, because we've had it once or twice before where we end up losing a lot. We end up out in direct seed.
Yeah, but mostly it's the tomatoes and the peppers that I can't direct seed that I'm trying to salvage.
Yeah, and typically we normally sell some plants off as a little extra too, but
not really counting on that this year.
It's not looking good. But
as long as we have enough for our own garden, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I agree. That's what matters. Just feed ourselves first, so that's quite the swing for you guys still too, though. I was just thinking about how the fact you're 40, what'd you say earlier, 40 degrees, and then you're swinging up to, it was like 91 on Friday, and now you've dropped that much. So that's
okay. 91 is like our 33. Oh, it's warm.
Yeah, that's quite warm.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I saw even in I think it was the UK in England there. I think I saw where they got nailed by hail, but it was huge hail. Like it was like the size of eggs, denting the crap out of vehicles. And
that would be worse.
Yeah.
I guess we shouldn't complain so much, but
oh no, I'm still gonna complain. I want warm, dry weather.
Yeah, dry would be nice.
But now is your mother-in-law's are your plants in the ground now, Robbie, or is that just it potted still, like started? It's hard to tell with your temperatures. I guess it could be in the ground.
Yeah, I think I'd be eager to put them in the ground.
I know you worked it up a couple weeks ago. I think it was. I saw on the videos.
I'm going to be very eager, so I need you all to talk me down if we do get a warm front. Be like, no, wait till the end of May.
Till the end of May, especially this year.
Because I risked it last year and it paid off, but I just don't feel it this year.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, because that's pretty tough on everything.
So did you have much damage in your own plants or anything? We don't get hail very often. We got a little bit of freezing rain, but like little pellets.
We don't typically get hail unless there's a potential for a tornado. Oh yeah. Yeah, I figured with the weather you guys have, figured you'd be direct sowing.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll bounce back. Especially tomatoes should be pretty hardy to bounce back, but peppers I'm not so sure.
Yeah. It's true. All right. What else? Think we missed anything here? So we tried to, since we're short on roosters this year, we're trying to hatch, see what we get. We've got the Polish rooster has 2 hens with him, 2 Polish hens, but we have one Easter egger that just wanders the property because she flies over the fences and goes where she wants, hangs out with the goats and lays her egg in the goat barn, then goes back and hangs out with the Polish chickens. For some reason, she hangs out there when she's not doing her own thing. So we decided to try to hatch some of her eggs. So I don't know. I've been kind of leery about it because I don't want to end up with a bunch of chicks or hens that lay small eggs. We already have the Silky and the Polish chickens doing that. So curious to see what kind of what eggs we might get out of any sort of mix between the two. But
yeah. So now what would happen if we took one of our extra Silky roosters and put them like with the barred rock?
Again, I don't really want to breed birds that are going to make small eggs.
I want to experiment.
I know. But
I don't know if it comes down to the mother or the father, but
Robbie's saying he's got to check his fence line and stuff.
Yeah. Well,
wow, your fruit trees are getting. Ours don't even, like, if I go out there, some things have the slightest little buds starting, like some of the bushes and things like that, Noble. But as far as the trees go, nothing. It's still, I think the maple trees are just starting to kind of get little, I don't know what you call that bud that they,
the bloom
that falls off that. But yeah,
That's awesome.
You're kind of dreary here as far as that goes.
I just hope our fruit trees survive this year.
April 15th for the Duncan Family Farms where they can put their veggies out.
It's not bad. That's coming up real fast.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
It's like a month and a half before us.
Yeah, unfortunately, we tend to go by the 3rd weekend in May is usually our last frost date potentially.
Mm-hmm. I like to have extra plants because I do like to put them out too early. And then if I have extra, it's okay if they die off in the frost, but maybe not this year.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to
it might just have enough this year.
back.
This is also the first year that will be pretty much almost all raised beds.
Mm-hmm. And that'll help with the flooding.
Yeah, that was the other problem we had last year.
Yeah.
Our garden got
And the year before, I think.
flooded out too, which was kind of bizarre.
Mm-hmm. Most of it was okay, but there were certain areas where it just pooled water and killed the watermelon. And
sat for too long. Yeah, you just never know now. But Yeah, at least the raised bed gets it out of the ground a bit, off the ground a bit.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. So we're gonna let the clover and stuff grow up in the garden between the raised beds, and you're just gonna mow. Is that it?
Northwest, okay, about 50 miles northwest of Nashville, Tennessee.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, that's one area I do like. Whenever we get a chance to go down, I do really enjoy.
Yeah, I think I have a T-shirt that says "This is my happy place" or something. It's
Yeah.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
We've only been once to Nashville itself, twice to Tennessee, but yeah, it was fun. Did we drive through the second time? I don't know. I don't
I'm
think
trying
so.
to think. I feel like we were there 3 times, but maybe not. But yeah.
Yeah, once was Nashville. The second time was Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge.
Yeah, like that area. It's pretty nice. Seems very clean, especially getting the mountains there. And look at the river. Actually makes you want to go fishing there. But look at the river around here. It's like brown because they're partly from runoff, but it's partly because we don't have the stone, the rocky bottoms. It's just they're dirt bottoms, so they kind of just look horrible, murky.
Yeah, and then it rains and it makes it look worse.
Yeah, everything drains into it and seems worse. But well,
You look confused.
I am so out of it today. Yeah, not my best day for doing a live by any means. But I haven't done it in years. Bought an incubator, have 21 eggs in it. Still 17 days to go. I'll count them Saturday. Nice. What are you hatching, Robbie? Just curious.
It's always exciting to candle and see how it's going.
Yeah. Hopefully you and John both have good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it hard to get chicks where you're at too, Robbie? I know John was saying that it's kind of hard to get his hands on them right now.
Yes, we have big incubators and small ones going, but I'm starting to think some of the small ones are just as good as the big ones. Because we had quail in a large one, and it was a decent hatch, but there was a lot that didn't.
Yeah, it could have been better. But you go through. You put so many in there that you don't think about it. But yeah, so we probably only hatched percentage-wise, it wasn't that great of a hatch. Yeah, there are a couple of those incubators that we have are a little older too, and I bought them used, and I don't know if they're. I should probably. I guess what I really need to do is get a thermometer and put it in and make sure it's actually calibrated so it's actually the temperature it says it is. I don't think I've actually checked that.
Yeah. With all of the incubators we have, it's funny though, because sometimes we don't have any to spare when we want to put something else in. It's a crazy time of year.
Yeah. It's probably just a sign that we're put too much in the incubators.
Experimenting.
We don't need to experiment.
We are hatching to sell as well.
Yeah.
And we have been selling, so.
It's all fine for the summer, but you eventually have to house everything over the winter.
Our Americana's nice.
Yeah. The roosters are Americana, so you'll probably end up with olive eggs, I'm guessing. I found when we had an Americana rooster, we were hatching eggs with the Isa Browns or with any of the brown layers. We'd end up with like an olive egg hens.
Yeah, that was a nice addition.
Mixed it up a bit.
It was pretty exciting the first time we found an olive egg.
Yeah.
So we're used to getting brown, and all of a sudden there's color.
Yeah, we're trying to add a few more colors. Not a lot, but we are trying to add some. Still sticking to mostly brown, but because we have customers that's very specifically what they want.
I think it would be nice to get dark brown.
Oh,
What is that? The copper Moran?
Copper Morans, yeah.
Like a dark chocolate brown.
Or some of those, was the one that Dyers had. I think it was the black. I think they're black chicken. I think they lay a black egg too.
Oh, wow.
But,
that'd be a hard sell for some of the customers.
Yeah, trust me, it's a good egg.
Yeah, they some don't even want green or any color other than brown.
Yeah, very specific. It tends to be the older people too. But
it's all good. Most of ours are brown anyway. But
yeah. Well, before we wrap up, anything else to?
not really. Nothing that we've done. It's just my mind is like spinning with all that has to be done this week.
Olive Acres, Morans, Orpingtons, some mixes that lay blue, green, and eggs. That's nice.
Oh, nice. So you'll still have some nice blue and greenish ones.
Mix it up. Yeah. I can't remember. Did we order some blue egg layers this year?
I think so. A couple.
Yeah, just to add to the colors.
Yeah, it'll be nice. We had some blue layers, but
We
they were
did.
getting old.
They were getting older. They were given to us. Somebody was getting rid of their birds, and they gave them to us. But the only thing about the ones that there was only a handful of them.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, and like I said, they weren't young, and they laid a nice blue egg. They were
Azure blue, I think.
Azure blue hens, but didn't realize it when we got them. But they were horrible egg eaters. I don't know what happened in their previous home, but I would actually catch them pecking at eggs, trying to break them.
Yeah, even as you reached for them in the nesting boxes.
So they had to go.
Yeah, but it was nice to have blue at the time.
I'll have to check that out, Robbie.
Yeah, that would be cool to see.
See what you got there. So yeah, we ordered a couple more of those Azure blue, but this time at least they won't have the bad habit that came with the old ones we had.
Mm-hmm. And we should be getting some more olive ones from the Easter egger and the brown rooster.
Oh, maybe.
Right?
Yeah, it's hard to know. Hard to know for sure.
Experiments. I like it. It takes a while to find out, though.
Yeah, a long time. Could be potentially over a year, depending on when the winter comes this year.
Yeah, well, that one hen that wanders wherever she wants to go, she took over a year to start laying and didn't think she was going to at all, and then she's been laying an egg a day.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I guess it's worth it.
She's an Easter egger, yeah.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, I guess. Her mom is, so.
Yeah, and her father was a blue.
Like
it was an Americana.
Yeah. Well, 5 o'clock, and I know you guys have things to do and places to be. So we do appreciate you hanging in with us, guys. Sorry for the interruptions with the equipment. And we hope you'll come on again next Sunday and join us.
Yeah, and please tune in to everybody's live if you can.
Yeah. So as I said, Money Pit should be on in an hour. And then Robbie and Sonia will be on right after them. And then Dyers. And I have my list here, but it's scrolling across the bottom. But as you can see, keep in mind that's all Eastern Standard Time. And I know a lot of these channels are actually in Central. So you'll have to take an hour off that if you're in the Central Time Zone.
Yeah.
But I know they'd appreciate anybody showing up there that has the time.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. And hope you have a great week, a blessed week, and that nobody gets
week.
a productive week, and nobody gets flooded out. We'll see you again next time.